Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something pretty big. It feels like the next major shift, maybe even a revolution in how we buy and sell things.
Definitely feels that way.
We're going past e-commerce, beyond mobile, even past the conversational stuff we've gotten used to. We're talking about agentic commerce.
Agentic commerce, yeah.
And the core idea, the really fundamental concept we want to unpack, is that commerce is moving away from us. You know, people clicking buttons or giving voice commands.
Right.
It's shifting towards being orchestrated autonomously by intelligent agents.
Yeah.
So our mission today is really to define this new way of doing things. What does it actually mean when machines start handling the complex thinking?
It's fascinating because it really is the next link in a chain, isn't it? If you look back.
This evolution.
Exactly. E-commerce, well, that digitized the store. Mobile commerce brought personalization. Conversational commerce, they gave it a more human feel and interface. But agentic commerce, this feels like the point where the whole system starts managing itself. It's not just about automating a single purchase anymore.
No.
It's about these intelligent agents acting for shoppers, acting for retailers, figuring out needs before we do, negotiating deals, handling fulfillment, all without us clicking around.
Wow.
And that needs a completely new kind of engine, right? A purpose-built operating system for how supply meets demand.
Okay. Let's break that down then. The basics. When we say agent, we're not just talking about a slightly smarter chatbot, are we? What is an agent here? And why is it so different from the assistants we've had for years?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the sources are pretty specific here. An agent, it's a digital thing that can do three key things. It can perceive its environment, it can reason about complex goals, and it can act persistently.
Consistently.
With autonomy. That's the key word,
Yep.
autonomy. You know, traditional software, even earlier AI, it was mostly reactive. It waited for you to tell it what to do.
We're like, hey, assistant, do this.
Exactly. Agents, though, they understand a goal, and they actively, persistently work towards it. They can even change their plan if things change.
Yeah.
They don't just stop.
So it's not just following a script or a narrow path. It's got ongoing awareness. And this is where we really separate the old conversational AI from these new agentic systems.
Precisely. Conversational AI. I think of those early virtual assistants. It was really good at understanding what you meant, you know, your intent using natural language.
Yeah.
But what it could do was often quite limited.
Right. Bounded.
Its main job was understanding intent. Agentic AI, on the other hand, its focus is acting on intent autonomously. It doesn't just sit there waiting for the next prompt. It kicks off actions, it can delegate tasks to other, maybe more specialized agents, and it collaborates to solve problems without needing a human to step in constantly.
The example in the source material really nails this difference, I think. Makes it super clear. Like, if you tell a conversational system, find me running shoes, it processes that, finds keywords, gives you a list, job done.
Pretty much.
But the agentic system, it takes that same request and turns it into a whole project. It comes back saying something like, okay, looked at the inventory, found 3 pairs that match your running style, your budget, your sustainability thing, found the best deal. Placed the order, next day delivery scheduled, sound good?
Exactly. It didn't just fetch data. It autonomously ran a complex, goal-driven process from start to finish.
That's a huge leap.
It is. And doing that, well, it needs a completely different foundation, a new architecture. You can't just plug a fancy new AI model into the old plumbing.
Right.
You need these strong reasoning frameworks. You need memory context, what happened before, what decisions were made, and really importantly, you need clear boundaries for that autonomy. The agents need to know how far they can go before they have to check back with a human.
Okay, but if these agents are really autonomous, say one's optimizing price for the retailer, another's managing the supply chain, and maybe my agent is trying to stick to my budget, how do they not just clash? How do they coordinate? It sounds like they need some kind of, I don't know, central control.
Yeah, they absolutely do. You're spot on.
Yeah.
A single agent is useful, sure, but the real power unlocks when you have multi-agentic systems. And that's where this idea of an agentic operating layer comes in, governed by an orchestrator. Think of the orchestrator like air traffic control for this incredibly efficient, automated city of commerce.
Okay, I get that.
Its job isn't just handing out tasks. It's also about resolving conflicts instantly. So take your retailer example. You might have one agent trying to push revenue on a product line.
Right. Maximize profit now.
And another agent focused on, say, long-term customer value, which might mean offering a discount. Those goals conflict.
Yeah.
The orchestrator has to resolve that clash, like right now, based on whatever the overall business strategy is. prioritize profit this quarter, or build loyalty. This kind of dynamic management replaces, tons of separate systems and weekly meetings where humans try to figure it out.
And this coordination, this complex system, the end goal, the really big vision here, is what the sources call agent-to-agent commerce, A2A.
That's the destination.
Right. This is where my intelligent agent, my buyer agent, talks directly to the seller's agent. No humans in the loop for the transaction itself.
Mm-hmm.
They negotiate the price, the delivery details, the payment. They confirm it. They execute it. That's the commerce without clicks idea fully realized.
And it's really crucial to stress the augmentation part here. Agentic commerce, as the sources frame it, isn't about completely replacing humans.
Right, it's not taking over everything.
No, it's about augmenting human capabilities, handling the sheer volume and speed and complexity that we just can't manage in real time. It makes commerce this constantly learning, constantly optimizing thing that runs at machine speed.
So architecturally, what does this new operating system for value actually look like? The sources lay out 5 core pillars for agentic commerce. It's more than just tech, it's a whole redesign. Let's start with pillar 1, the big change for us shoppers.
Okay.
Pillar 1. Autonomous customer agents. Basically, how we shop completely flips. It goes from us doing the work, searching, comparing, selecting.
The endless scrolling.
Exactly, to us delegating. We tell our agent the goal,
Right.
and it orchestrates getting it done.
Yeah, these agents, they know your preferences, your budget, your sizes, maybe your dietary needs, your ethical priorities, whatever you've told them.
All that context.
Right. They track things like maybe you're running low on coffee.
Yeah.
They anticipate that need and can just reorder it before you even notice you're almost out. But the really massive implication here is about loyalty.
Yes. This is fascinating.
Loyalty to traditionally it's between the brand and the consumer, right?
Mm-hmm. Emotional connection, brand image.
Agentic commerce shifts that. Loyalty becomes a relationship between the brand's agent and the shopper's agent.
That's mind-bending. How does a brand even do that?
Yeah.
All the marketing, the slogans, the emotional ads. How do you convince an algorithm that your detergent is better than another one that costs less but does the same job chemically?
Well, that's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't
Yeah.
it? You don't market to an agent with slogans. You market with data, verifiable, structured data.
Uh-huh.
Agent loyalty, it seems, will be built on proof. Consistent quality, reliability, ethical sourcing, transparent pricing, carbon footprint data. Whatever metrics the shopper's agent is programmed to care about by its human owner.
So brands need to provide that transparent, verifiable data. That's how they talk to the agent.
Exactly. It's about giving the agent the facts it needs to make a decision it can trust on behalf of its owner.
Okay, moving to the other side of the transaction, pillar 2. Retailer and brand agents. These are the seller's representatives, right? The adaptive layer for the business.
Yep. Operating 24/7. Think about agents constantly tweaking prices, not just based on what competitors are doing, but maybe on real-time shipping costs or inventory levels.
Dynamic pricing on steroids.
Yeah, totally. And they could negotiate custom bundle deals with individual shopper agents in real time, trying to maximize value for that specific customer while also hitting the retailer's margin goals. It's incredibly granular.
And the meeting place for these agents, that's pillar 3, agentic marketplaces. So marketplaces change too.
They have to. They evolve from just being, digital shells with listings
Great.
to becoming platforms that actually host these intelligent negotiations. They provide the infrastructure for secure, trustworthy A2A commerce.
Okay, makes sense. Now, pillar 4 feels absolutely critical for all this to work.
Oh, definitely. Pillar 4, the contextual intelligence layer. Because these agents, they're only as smart as the information they can access and understand.
Garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Pretty much. This layer is the fabric connecting all the real-time data, identity, who the shopper is, inventory levels right now, past purchase history, even external factors like weather impacting delivery or, supply chain risks.
Wow.
It ensures the agents have the full picture needed to make good decisions, like knowing the brand's actual price flexibility at that exact moment or confirming delivery capacity before promising it. It turns raw data into meaningful, actionable context instantly.
And finally, we get to the crucial governance part. Pillar 5, ethics, trust, and responsible autonomy. Because when money starts moving automatically, trust isn't just nice to have, it's essential. Programmatic, almost.
Has to be baked in.
So you need a governance layer. Like, if my agent buys something I hate, what happens? How do we make sure it's transparent? Why did it pick this product over that one? How do we stop bias creeping into automated recommendations?
That's where responsible autonomy comes in. It's the framework, the rules of the road to ensure the whole system operates fairly, safely, and accountably. It defines the guardrails for this incredibly powerful self-running system.
It's the control plane. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's shift gears from the architecture to what's actually being built. Startups are already laying the groundwork for this. The sources point to two main fronts. First, net new agentic solutions. Companies basically born for this autonomous world.
Right, born native.
And one immediate impact here is on how products get discovered. If my agent is doing the research, I'm not typing best running shoes into Google anymore. So the game changes from SEO
Search engine optimization.
to GEO, generative engine optimization.
That's a huge shift for anyone selling anything online. Agents don't read catchy blog posts. They parse structured data, facts, policies.
So brands need to optimize their information for agents.
Exactly. Optimize the data feeds, get claims verified by third parties, make policies crystal clear. It's about how agents think and talk, which is very different from humans.
And we see startups emerging here.
Yeah, the sources mention Sonic, focusing on creating content specifically for agent visibility, Typeface, doing hyper-personalized brand messaging, letting the retailer agent tailor its pitch instantly based on the shopper agent's context.
Tools for talking to machines.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Bria AI for generating compliant visuals on demand. These are the tools brands will need to be findable and persuasive in this new machine-mediated web.
Okay, that's the new stuff. What about the second front? Existing systems.
Right, that's agentic reinvention, taking mature business areas and embedding these agentic capabilities into them, retrofitting existing enterprise systems, basically.
Turning old processes autonomous.
Precisely, making them adaptive and self-optimizing. And the impact is dramatic compression of decision times.
Like the supply chain example, Augur.
Yeah, Augur uses a multi-agent platform for supply chain stuff. Instead of static plans, updated maybe monthly.
Right, the old way.
They deploy specialized agents for forecasting, logistics, inventory, all coordinated, making decisions continuously, autonomously. So workflows that used to spit out a report that someone had to read and act on.
Now end in an action, taken by the agent.
Exactly. The loop closes itself. Another one mentioned is Harmonia, focusing on semantic product intelligence, really understanding product attributes and connecting them to shopper intent at a deep level.
And Distill AI, accelerating this whole process.
Yeah, they offer like an agentic architecture accelerator, helping big companies deploy these reasoning agents for complex tasks like dynamic pricing or optimizing operations much faster weeks, not months or years.
The big takeaway seems to be speed and proactivity. Decision cycles collapsing from weeks to seconds. Processes becoming continuous, not periodic.
That's the core transformation. It moves businesses from reactive analysis to proactive autonomous action.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive really shows agentic commerce isn't just like e-commerce 4.0, it feels more fundamental, a restructuring of how demand and supply even connect.
I think that's absolutely right. It's creating this self-learning, self-optimizing ecosystem. And the old lines between marketing, sales, customer service, they really start to blur, maybe even disappear. It's about automating the entire value chain, built on trust and context.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over based on all this. We talked a lot about loyalty shifting from you to the brand to your agent negotiating with the brand's agent.
The agent loyalty challenge.
Right, so if your shopper agent is programmed really strictly to prioritize your values, maybe it's minimizing carbon footprint above all else, or sticking to a tight budget, no exceptions, and those values conflict with your usual preferred brand. How do brands win? How do they build agent loyalty when they're in a high-speed negotiation with an algorithm that only cares about verifiable data points aligned with your priorities, not the brand's reputation? What does branding even look like then?
That's the question to ponder.
Definitely something to think about. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive into agentic commerce. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.